Okay, we're going to learn about some formatting tags. The first one we're going to talk about is the strong tag. So let me insert a strong tag in here. Let's do strong around the word Ohio. So a strong tag is the word strong, and that's with an O, not a U. And then after Ohio, I'm going to put the /strong tag. And this says anything I put between my strong tags is going to be formatted in a strong style. Let's see what that actually means. I'm going to save this and go over here and refresh. And you'll see Ohio is bold. Okay, so by default, strong is interpreted as a bold font. We can change what strong is later on when we learn about CSS and formatting our pages. We can change what strong is. Maybe we could say strong is red characters in a bold font with some italics. But by default, if you use the strong tag, whatever you do is going to be bold. Maybe I decide I want Northwest Ohio, the whole thing, to be bold. So I move my opening tag back before Northwest and my closing tag after Ohio. Save it. Refresh our page. And now the whole Northwest Ohio is bold. The other tag I want to talk about is the emphasis tag. Emphasis. I'm going to emphasize the words except for his time in the Army. So I put EM. That's my opening tag. I'm going to put /EM. After that, we'll save it. Come over here and hit our refresh button. And you can see, except for his time in the Army, is written with emphasis. And by default, emphasis is italics. So let's talk a little bit history here. There used to be a tag that was a B tag that stood for bold. Okay. That tag has been replaced by the strong tag. Okay. Because strong has a more generic meaning, and if we decide to change what strong type is on our page, like I said before, if we want it to be red, bold, and italics, we can change that. If we wanted to change the B tag to red and italics, well, it wouldn't make sense to keep calling it bold, would it? So the B tag would still work. However, it has gone through something called deprecation. Deprecation is when the people who set the standards for the language decide that we aren't going to use that tag anymore. But rather than just take it out and breaking everybody's web pages that might have had a B in it, a B tag, they leave it in there. So a B tag will still work. However, you are not supposed to use it anymore because eventually it will go away. A deprecated tag eventually disappears and it won't be accepted anymore. Okay, so if you see somebody using a B tag to get bold text, know that they're not doing it correctly, and you really should use strong for that. The same way with emphasis, there used to be an I tag for italics. If you use I, matter of fact, I'll prove it. I will still work. I'll save it and refresh. And you can see it's still italics. So it does still work, but you're not supposed to use those tags anymore because they've been deprecated. So write your code to current standards. All right. Also, we'll talk about some special characters. There are special characters we can't find on our keyboard. So down here, I'm going to let's do an H5, or really be a small heading. And I'm going to put footer. This is going to be my footer. I'm going to do it in H5. Now, what usually goes, I'm not going to put the word footer in there. It's going to be the footer, the bottom part of our page. What do you usually see at the bottom of a page? Well, you usually see something like copyright Matt Geiger 2020. I'm going to put /H5. So I'm using that H5 tag to make some small but important text at the bottom. So we can see that copyright Matt Geiger. Well, there's actually a copyright symbol that we could put here, but there's no place. That's the C with a circle around it. And there's no way, we don't know what it is. There's no way we can type that on our keyboard. However, it does have a code. So special characters like that, we can do by typing an ampersand, which is the and symbol, and then putting in their code. Okay, so there's numerical codes that stand for a lot of uncommon symbols, but a lot of them also have names. So some of them have numbers, some of them have names, some of them have both. And the code, the special character code for a copyright symbol is ampersand copy. I'm gonna save that. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to refresh, and now we can see it says copyright, and then we have the C with a circle around it, Matt Geiger 2020. That's usually everybody, when they make their first web page, gets a real thrill out of putting their copyright on it. Okay. Now, the fact of the matter is, anything that you author, you own the copyright on, whether you put copyright on it or not. And that's true of anybody else on the internet. If they create any kind of work and put it on the internet, they own the copyright. Just because it's on the web doesn't mean you can copy it and use it. Somebody else owns the copyright to that. There are ways they can put things on the internet and give people the ability to use them. Copyright violations are a huge problem. You don't want to be a professional web developer who gets sued for copyright. So you want people to respect your work, you need to respect other people's. So know that even if I don't put copyright Matt Geiger at the bottom of my page, if I wrote this biography about myself, then I own the copyright. All right, we're going to stop there, and in the next video, we're going to talk about images, putting pictures on our web pages.